Monday Minutes. This is the first one of 2022, and I'm super excited to have Mike Hidlebaugh here as my guest. And Mike, let's hear, what do you do?
Awesome. First of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity, Meg. It feels really good to be here on Zoom with you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a licensed mortgage associate. So essentially what that means is I broker mortgages between my clients and certain financial institutions. Work with over 20 lenders. So there's a variety of products to virtually fit anyone's lifestyle and financial needs. Essentially what I do, ask a series of questions, complete an application with clients, look at their credit, look at some supporting documents, and just see what the best fit is for them. Obviously, I can do purchases. So if you're looking at purchasing a place, refinances, if you're looking to access some equity, if you have some high interest debt, or you're looking to get a down payment for a new place, complete a renovation, whatever, if you have the equity, we can refinance. And lastly, I can do transfer switches. So if your mortgage is coming up for renewal, 120 days out, contact me. Let's lock in a rate. Make sure that you're getting the best offer from your current lender. If not, let's switch lenders for you. Essentially, that's what it is in a nutshell.
That's awesome. That's great. So you're local to Warman in Saskatchewan, am I right?
Yeah, I'm based out of Warman, live in Warman, and office in Saskatoon. But I'm able to do mortgages Saskatchewan wide. In fact, nationally as well. We have a co-brokering system through Santa Mortgages, where I'm able to do mortgages all across Canada.
That's fantastic. That's so great. And I mean, like, for working with new clients all the time, it's great that you're able to work with, across Saskatchewan. That's fantastic. And that kind of brings me to the next subject that I want to talk about in regards to cabins. So, Mike, I have a cabin. I love having a second property. But if I have a client that wants to buy a second property, in terms of like the differences between 3-season and a 4-season, how that's going to affect a mortgage, and just what does a person need or require, and is it easy to get a second mortgage for a cabin? Can you fill me in on that?
Yeah, great question. I love assisting folks with that are looking to purchase cabins. First things first, there's so many intricacies with mortgages related to cabins, just because they vary so much depending on location, characteristics of cabin, whatnot. So first thing, get in touch with me and let's look at the property, and that'll help us determine down payment required, all sorts of questions. But things that the lender is going to look at, they're going to look at the water source, if the water's coming out of the lake, or if it's a well, if you have an osmosis system in the cabin, so if it's potable or non-potable. They're going to look at what the heating source is. So if you have a permanent heat source, so if you have forced air or baseboard heat, or if it's a wood stove heating the place, right? So it's, there's so many different factors. If it's a permanent foundation, comes into effect, or if it's on blocks, that changes things up. If it's on leased land or if it's titled land, the location. So if you're looking at a cabin, it's kind of secluded way up north. Things are going to be different than if you're looking at a cabin, like you mentioned, Emma Lake or Canada Lake, where cabins are being bought and sold all the time, right? So that all changes things up. And the one more thing I just want to touch on really briefly is the remaining economic life. So they'll want to know, an appraisal will be required on a cabin, and they're gonna want to know how long this cabin's viable for. So lots of cabins, they maybe only have 15 years left in them, then you're gonna have to knock it down and rebuild. So the chances of you getting an amortization on a cabin, so that just means the total length to pay out your mortgage, on a cabin that only has 15 years left of 15 years or more, is very, very unlikely. So you'll likely be looking at an amortization of 10 years or something like that.
Okay, well, that's great information. I know that many people have asked me, what do I need in order to, get a cabin? I want to, come up to Emma Lake. So just for everybody who is wondering, I have a cabin at Emma. I am there most of the time. I'm, Saskatoon to Lakeland region. So definitely Mike and I can help you out when it comes to a cabin. But no, that's great information, Mike. All those little things that maybe somebody won't even think of, you pretty much laid it out. So I appreciate that. Now, one thing I did want to touch on while I have you here is my husband is Métis. And I kind of want to, I've heard lots about the Métis Nation Saskatchewan first time homebuyer program. And I'm wondering if you could maybe just kind of give us a few notes on that and what that entails.
Yeah, I'd love to. First of all, it's a great program. The Métis Nation is very, very easy to work with in regards to this program. And it's allowed a couple of my clients who otherwise they wouldn't have been ready for home ownership quite yet to get into the market and purchase a home. And then a couple other clients, it's just allowed them to reduce their monthly mortgage payment somewhat. So essentially what the Métis Nation first time home buyers program is it provides registered Métis people with a forgivable loan of up to $15,000 for down payment, $2,500 for closing costs, so 17,500 total, in the form of a forgivable loan. So obviously when it's a forgivable loan, it doesn't need to be paid back. Yeah, so like I said, great program. When you're getting money, obviously there's going to be some criteria that needs to be followed, but it's really not very stringent criteria, and it's very open. Obviously the biggest one is you must be Métis ancestry and you must have a registered Métis card. You must be 18 years of age or older, must not have owned a home in the last 4 years, and your household income just needs to be below $150,000. The last thing is it's a one-time only opportunity, which makes sense for sure. So like I said, another one of those things, if you want any more information, or if you think you might qualify for this program, get in touch with me as soon as possible. We'll have a look at your situation. We'll get you in touch with Thomas from Métis Nation First Time Home Buyers Program, and then he'll help you through that process. Very easy, user friendly.
That's awesome. I think do you have to both be Métis in order to use the program? Like if you're both having your name put on the mortgage, you obviously both need to be Métis, correct?
No, great question. No,
Okay.
only one of you needs to be Métis. Yep. So
that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad we filled up our knowledge on that because I was kind of unsure, and I'm glad you filled me in. I guess last but not least, we're in 2022 now. So what is your advice for somebody looking to get a mortgage, maybe a first-time home buyer, or maybe a person that is looking to sell and move in 2022? What are we going to see? What's coming up in the mortgage world?
Nice. I like it. Biggest thing is get on it as soon as possible. Right? Like if the market's anything like it, yeah, if it's been anything like it has been the last couple of years, you want to get on it right now. Let's get you pre-qualified. Let's start the conversation. We'll complete an application. We'll look at some supporting documents. We'll pull your credit. It's important to do that. You don't want to waste anybody's time. You might be looking in a price range that's just not realistic for you, or you might be looking at $300,000 homes when you can be looking at 400,000, and it just opens doors for you, right? So, and the other thing I like
helps us.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you don't want your time wasted. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The last thing I would like to touch on in regards to that is your credit bureau. It's nice to call that is early in the process, in my opinion. Anyway, as early as in the process as possible, because you never know what might show up there. Everybody thinks they have a pretty good handle on their credit, but there might be something that's going to affect you buying a house. There might be something that shouldn't be on there that you're not even aware of. And so it's nice to have that pulled and a plan in place before you go put an offer on. We have a live deal. We only have 5 days to meet conditions. And then all of a sudden we have to get something wiped off your credit bureau. And that can just hold things up. And it could make you lose out on the home if we can't get those conditions fulfilled in time. So like I said, start the process as early as possible and just give me a ring.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. So, Mike, if a person wants to reach out, obviously you can contact me and I can put you in contact with Mike. But how is the best way to get in touch with you? I'm going to list your contact information at the end of this video here. But social media, I'm guessing, well, we know you're on Instagram and Facebook, lots of different areas that we can get in touch with you. And if a person just wants to simply reach out and just ask them questions, maybe they're thinking about moving in the future, they could definitely give you a call, I'm guessing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's all part of the process. And just a brief reminder, my services are they're free to the borrower. I get paid once a mortgage funds with the particular lender then pays me a commission. So
I think that's a really
there's
good point
no
to make.
cost.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, everybody wonders about that, right? Like, oh, should I go to a bank? I hear first time home buyers, oh, I'll just go to the bank instead of getting a mortgage broker. They think they have to pay a mortgage broker. That's not how it works, right? So,
Yeah.
no, that's good.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
lot of misconceptions about us for sure. People think that we're only for bad credit. No, we
yeah,
want everybody. We want
yeah,
everybody.
for
So
sure.
yeah,
That's awesome. And last but not least, we're still in a pandemic. 2022 just keeps, we're just keeping the COVID with us. So if a person wanted to do a virtual meeting with you, that's a possibility.
definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
With today's technology, we don't really, everything can be done virtually from signings to
Awesome.
everything. So yeah, yeah.
So that's fantastic because I think that has, been such a game changer for a lot of transactions this year. People just even having meetings by Zoom to talk about what they're looking for in a house. I've done that with clients and it's worked great. Well, Mike, I appreciate you being my first guest of Meg's Monday Minutes. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for all your information and great tips. And anybody need a mortgage? Call this guy. All
Thanks,
right, Mike.
Meg. It was fantastic.
You're welcome. Have a good one.